Anton here.
I'm the Bendu.
Just now arriving at Emerald City Comic-Con.
Saturday, boys and girls and nons, all the days and days.
All of the days, everybody. Let's take a look what's inside, shall we?
No, it's like...
And here we are. There are pirates everywhere today because the R flag means death panels coming up later. We're going to try and get into that if it doesn't fill up. I missed a step. Hell yeah. We are waiting in line for the Star Wars Experience, which is hosted by the 501st. Hey, Dark Helmet! You look amazing, dude. All right, this is pretty sweet. There's some awesome stuff in here. Look at this. It's just absolute carnage. What can men do against such reckless hate? Yeah, get him. Get him.
Come out and face them with me.
We found the maps. Look at all of the... They will make fine additions to my collection.
Oh, look at that.
Check out the mall. Look at that thing.
That is beautiful.
We've got a framed and autographed dust jacket of Splinter of the Mind's Eye right here. I find it kind of fucked up that we've got autographs from everyone except Alan Dean Foster on this thing.
Dork forces!
Dork forces! Dork forces! Dork forces! Dork forces! Dork forces!
Dork forces!
We're at the Mandalorian panel. It's pretty loud in here. It's a party.
We're gonna try to ask a question at least this time, but if not, we're really excited to see who comes up.
We know that Katie Sackhoff is here because she's doing autographs, but other than that, it's kind of a mystery, so we'll see.
Please welcome Katie Sackhoff, Simon Casianis, and Mercedes Bernardo of the Mandalorian!
Fuck yeah! Woo! Oh my god!
Hi, what's your name?
Hello there. My name is Kyle. I'm from around here. And first, I want to thank you guys for your awesome contributions to Star Wars. And I have a Clone Wars question for Katie. This might be a bit of a deep cut. What is your personal opinion on the theory that Corky is the child of your sister Satine and Obi-Wan Kenobi? Have you heard that theory?
Honestly, I have no idea. Look, as a fan, I mean, it's a cool theory. It's a really cool theory, right? But I have no idea. That's so far above my pay grade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Oh man. See, going through that video, like it brought up memories of things that I like totally forgot. Like how absolutely
It was a really fun
gorgeous
time,
that Darth Maul statue was. Fuck.
What's up,
year-
everybody? Welcome back to Dork Forces. Just reliving our Emerald City Comic-Con moments just now that we were doing.
Are you
I
gonna
know,
be,
right? We're practically BFFs now. Me and Katie, we go way back.
Are you gonna be posting the recap onto the YouTube
Yes, I
channel?
absolutely am. Henry Lewis, it wasn't just you. The video was glitching on my end too. I think that Streamlabs kind of struggles when it comes to like playing really long videos. Like that was a 5-minute video that I tried to play just now. and I think it was trying to like buffer it and stream it at once, and it struggled. So you'll be able to watch the video in its smooth, playable glory on YouTube. I'll post it as well after the podcast tonight.
But yeah.
It was cosplay heaven. It was so cool.
There were so many amazing people. The creativity level is fantastic. Seeing cosplayers that we've seen like 4 years ago and where they are now, and just the overall scope and level up of their skill it's like part of the journey. It's like so amazing.
Absolutely.
People.
It's like the community element, of going to the con is that the first time you go to the con, you meet people in cosplays and you make friends, and then you see those same faces again every year you go, and you get to watch their cosplay journeys develop as they get better at their craft as well. It's a whole other layer of enjoying going to cons, And for you, I'm sure you feel that more than I do, because you always go in costume. Like you were Moon Knight this time, and you're killer, by the way, and Doctor Strange with the third eye. He got a ton of compliments, by the way. Like, we were stopped every couple feet. Someone had to take a picture of him. Like, the eye was freaking people out. It was great.
But the third eye was an absolute hit. I really was not. Same with Moon Knight. Like, Moon Knight is probably the most simplistic cosplay I've ever had to do, because it's literally just a jumpsuit. But like, I guess preemptively, because I was talking to a couple of people afterwards about it, and it's like, even though that it's just a jumpsuit, it's
right.
How you feel in the cosplay, and it's like how you perform as a person in the costume, sort of a deal.
Absolutely.
Well. So it's like, if you fill it out well, like if like, again, like if you're just trying to think of how to say it, it just depends on how you play the game for it. Like, totally. I knew also that I wasn't going to be wearing like a full mask. So I knew that, makeup wise, it was probably just going to be something simple, like trying to just make it look like I was sleep deprived, which wasn't too difficult. But yeah, Moon Knight, it was fun. It was fun because like there was a couple of Conchus and other characters that we saw.
We'll find a good still use Moon Knight in here.
Yeah, so we saw a bunch of other like Moon Knight cosplayers on Saturday, but I kind of just made it more fun to be something simple on the Sunday. But yeah, like even here, it's like I learned so many things with the cosplay, and fucking shout out to you, best friend, because I would not have been able to survive that day without you zippering me up and unzippering me. That was
I'm fine with leaving that specific memory at the con. But yes, I was happy to do that for you, best friend. Of course.
Yeah, like, I've never had to like be so specific with when I wanted to use the restroom.
Be strategic about that shit.
I have to make it count. And
speaking of restrooms and everything, that was a common theme in the Q&A with Katie. She said like the most memorable thing about being on set was how hard it was to go to the bathroom in a Mandalorian suit. And that the costume designers specifically like fitted her with a zipper so she could do it faster, and it wasn't as good of an idea as they thought at first. But she talked about like bathroom humor all the time, and then like I think it was Hera actually that pointed out, she was like, "Oh yeah, she just said she has a 1-year-old at home, so of course, like this is the mind of a person that has a 1-year-old child. It's all like bathroom humor all the time." That totally tracks.
Point, yeah, it's like when she was talking about the difficulties of needing to take a bathroom break when you're in 7 layers of Mando gear. She was talking about how she wanted to see a Star Wars version of like the Everybody Poops book. And then she was able to just like drop the author of the book on like the drop of a hat. She's like, "Yeah, I want to see Star Wars
of course.
Everybody Poops by blah blah blah." And I was like, "How many times has she read that book? Like, how do you just like name drop like that?" But something I do want to say,
being a parent of a 1-year-old, that's how.
Right. But something I do want to say before I forget again, thank you to everyone, because we missed last week because we were just really trying to like get our energy back, and you can kind of hear it from me as well. In Arizona,
I'm just getting over a cold. He's currently like in the throes right now.
In Arizona, it's like 83 right now, and all the trees and all the flowers like literally just poofed and bloomed all at once. And so I have like the serious like sawdust throat right now. But yeah, dude, the cosplays, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. But a secret about the eyeball though that I will say here.
Yeah. Tell us.
Is I got the idea of using an artificial tattoo for the eye versus using a prosthetic from Jack Sparrow cosplayers. So I have to like maintain to say shout out to the Jack Sparrow cosplayers who would always
look at
have,
that thing though. It looks real.
Yeah, the 6 eyeballs for whenever they would do the Dead Man's Chest, like Cannibal Island Jack Sparrow sort of deal. Because there was a couple of other Doctor
where he
Strange
has the eyes here and the eyes there.
Yeah,
right.
As part of like the face paint. Because there's a couple of other Strange cosplayers I've seen who've tried to do the prosthetic, and like it just looks like a giant pimple, and it just looks like this horn of plastic that's like coming out of the head. Or like their eyes would be brown and the prosthetics eye would be blue, and it's just like, you know, completely different. But yeah, dude, tattoo, temporary tattoo, eyeshadow, and eyeliner. You know, practical effects.
It came out really good.
Practical
there
effects
it is. That's the best still right there. Look at that.
So yeah, Saturday is Sinister Strange. I don't always get to play villains also, so Saturday getting to play a bad guy was fun. Next year, once Warlock Supreme Strange is done, yeah, that one's going to be a trip too. So that one's going to be great. I have to rebuild Moon Knight now. That was definitely a one and done try for a cosplay.
Yeah, you explored it and you conquered it. You know, now you got to move on to the next climb.
You have the opportunity to ask Kick-Ass question and shoot the room in a big deal. It's true. It's true.
I noticed that. I noticed that people were into the question.
All about
people want to know, man.
Too often when people get up there, question is subpar, nicely done. Yeah, no, it was very a niche question, but it was exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to try to do it the previous day at the Clone Wars panel.
Yeah, the Clone Wars anniversary.
We wanted to ask fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi and D. Bradley Baker about it.
Same question for James Arnold Taylor, and yeah, that I was going to ask
those question lines just like
I got cold. The line was too long.
What's cool about the Mando one is that we got like front row seats. Essentially, we were like, you can see us in the jumbotron. Like we're just straight. Like
it's true, and you can see Bendu over my shoulder. You can see Hera over here filming the screen that you're actually watching. Kind of meta. But like, our seats were right behind the microphone. So when they said it's questions time, I just like dove right in. It was perfect.
It was.
But I will say this. Yes, often when people get up there, they're like, what's your favorite color? But I will say shout out to those people because it takes a lot of bravery to get up and ask a question in front of a huge room full of people. And even if they don't have like a question that everybody wants to hear the answer to, the whole point is that they get this moment of asking any stupid question, like, and let them have that, you know, like not that I'm saying you're saying don't let them have that, but like, even though not every question is worthwhile, like I applaud people for getting up there and asking and like, you know, being part of the moment in that way. Cause she had no idea about the quirky theory. She was like, I don't know. I have no idea. But I still felt very fulfilled.
The crowd knew
in the first place.
The fucking crowd knew. And the solidarity of the crowd with that idea. And the people that have not heard that theory are now going to be Googling it. And we're watching that episode. And they're going to be like, oh, fuck, there is something between Satine and
and I think that the only way it should be acknowledged by Lucasfilm is to have Corky show up in The Mandalorian, played by Ewan McGregor without a beard, and they just never acknowledge it. Just, oh yeah, that's just what Corky looks like. Why does he like? What's the big deal? Just beardless Ewan.
Yeah.
How did I get the footage? You can see Hera right there behind me grinning.
You can see her arm in the
you can see her filming on the phone right there. Yeah, over my shoulder.
It was great. The whole inception of the angles we got going was prime.
Yeah, she just filmed the Jumbotron screen, and then I was over to the right asking the question. Yeah, no, it worked out really well.
But yeah, the weekend
I was very nervous too. If you know what, I'm going to replay my question real quick. You know that I usually speak pretty fluently, but when I was asking that question, I was like, do you think maybe that Corky and like, because I was talking to fucking Katie Sackhoff, man. You know, I'm not made of stone.
Yeah. When she was labeling the other project, I didn't realize I'd seen her in so many like other things outside.
Oh yeah. I've been a Katie fan since Scream and Battlestar, and the list goes on. I was having a moment right there.
My name is Kyle. I'm from around here. And first, I want to thank you guys for your awesome contributions to Star Wars. And I have a Clone Wars question for Katie. This might be a bit of a deep cut. What is your personal opinion on the theory that Corky is the child of your sister Satine and Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Find your words, Kyle.
Have you heard that theory?
Honestly, I have no idea. Look, as a fan, I mean, it's a cool theory. It's a really cool theory. Right?
Yeah, no, it was just excellent. It was a really, really fun
so
time.
great.
And I would say it was
Great.
worth the sickness that it brought upon me, because it was totally my own fault for not wearing a mask and not washing my hands as much as I should have been, because that's when I came down to it. It was like right after the
Well, so it was, I think it was more so like,
crud.
I think it was more so just like how loud we had to speak.
If we're going chronologically, Hera actually replaced Katie first.
Yeah.
Because I watched Battlestar a long time ago.
I will say, like the event, fan fucking tastic. I am a little unfortunate to say that, like, when we did our
saw that episode
reactions to the last Bad Batch and we tried talking about Emerald City, like, I was really at a loss for words. I really didn't have any energy because I was purely just still recharging. But like, yeah, the absolute energy that I had and everything that came from again, like we were saying at the beginning of seeing people again. So like, shout out to some of those cosplayers, like the Kang, you go and cosplay, or the Clea Strange, Stella Saris on Instagram, Sepulchre, who is the amazing Kylo Ren. Like, there's so many amazing people out there that we were able to see repeated.
I'm constantly blown away because I'm not a cosplayer, so I don't like. I'm standing on the outside, just looking at the end result and all these people's finished products.
Yeah,
you know? And there's months of work that goes into them, but I never see any of that. All I see is just these like effortless, awesome cosplayers walking around, and so I can't appreciate it on the level that you do. It's like when there's a guitarist playing a fancy solo and like non-musicians of the crowd are like, "Oh my God, that's mind-blowing." And people who play guitar are like, "Oh yeah, I see what he did. That's pretty cool." But it's like a different level of, because you can see the techniques. You've done it yourself.
Or it's like you saw him.
It's very impressive to me.
At their first song versus like now playing on a stage. But yeah, next year.
I'm so happy for you, man. That's gonna be awesome. Meeting Hayden.
But yeah, next year the costumes are going to be even better. The convention center, I will say also something health-wise, if they did have better air conditioning, if there was better air circulation throughout the fucking building, it probably would have been a different story. The building itself, gorgeous. The fact that it was 5 stories tall,
not great ventilation,
but,
like honestly.
But, not to completely shit on the parade, but if they
it was a good time, but there was definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, right. But if like they were able to increase the cell reception, the Wi-Fi capabilities throughout the building, and the increased air circulation, it would have been like absolutely top notch. But again, I think this was the 100%. New convention centers. This was like the new convention center's like first major event, and it was
the maiden voyage kind of.
It was the main voyage. So anyone who was in Seattle and got to see the new building, or who was visiting Seattle and got to see the new building, leaves a question and comment in the sections on what you thought of the event, what you thought of the building, or what your time in Seattle was like. Because it could have been a lot worse. Also, it didn't get above 49 degrees, so it was a little cold. So that was kind of a cosplay concern, but it didn't fucking snow.
The universe kind of opened up for you on that one.
Win. That was an absolute fucking win.
To speak to Droid Herder's comment here, I don't think that there are any cosplays out there that I could really nail. When I was doing my reactions to Masters of the Universe Revelation on the Grizzly Wizard channel, someone pointed out that I had a resemblance to one of the characters, and said that if I ever cosplayed, my first cosplay would have to be Fisto from Masters of the Universe. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I did say to the guy, yeah, okay, I'll do it. So here's Fisto. It's just putting me in a hell of a position here. I don't know. I think I can pull that off, but you would have to be next to me as Moon Knight to draw the eye.
Yeah, well, that too, right? But like, we just have to.
It's gonna take a lot to draw the eye, man.
Flesh colored tights, right? But yeah, also what was great about wearing a cup really helped with that costume also.
Yeah, that would be necessary here too.
But I mean, like, Jedi Knight would be super simple. But here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. Comment section and people watching. When it comes to costumes in Qatar, and that's also more of like a Ren Fair sort of a deal. When it comes
That's
to
true. That's true. That's true.
When it comes to cons and celebration, we kind of fucked up this time. Because we didn't have stickers or business cards like we did for Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Definitely more of like a networking thing. So like, yes, 100% we're there for fun, but cosplay is like kind of not to name names, but it's kind of like my thing. Ren fairs, totally fucking different thing. Katarn is the like best grizzled wizard and the best Templar.
That's true. Okay, does it count as cosplay when you're at the Ren Fair?
Hung out. Yeah.
Then I've done cosplay. I've totally done cosplay because I've been a Templar, I've been a wizard, I've been a knight, I've been all kinds of things at the Ren Fair because I just like get several barrels deep of mead and hang out and watch a joust, and it doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah, but with cons, it's like, yes, exactly. Kyle plays Kyle because he has to kind of be recognizable at that point because I
want to meet people. I want people to be able to come up and see me and be like, hey, I know you from YouTube. Exactly.
It's the moneymaker. So it's
and that happened too. Several people came up to us during Emerald City and like stopped us.
Like,
and
we weren't sure if it was you, but then we heard the voice. And it was like
the voice tipped everyone off.
Yep.
That was really cool. It's really, really fun getting to meet people that like have seen the channel. It makes it real in a weird way because like I just like am at home in my house and all of this is on my computer screen, but like when you actually see someone out in the world that's also seeing the same weird internet shit that you do, it makes it real. It's like a weirdly validating thing. It was pretty awesome. And Emerald City, you missed the recap. I'm going to post it on YouTube as well. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
At some point on Sunday, you had like kind of made the joke of like, Bendu, what's it feel like being a cosplay ambassador?
Did we ever really stop?
What?
I was saying he feels like we're going to start talking about it, and I'm saying, did we ever really stop?
Yeah, no.
That conversation didn't end. It just kind of had a ... an ellipsis.
No, this is still the Emerald City-ness. But we are going to eventually get into Mandalorian episode 2 / tonight of episode 3 because my fucking god.
Let's not jump the gun, and we'll talk about it when we talk about it. But I'm just going to say. And just leave it at that, all right? And then we'll get to it when we get to it. But that's what I have to say.
But so again, my apologies to anyone who did watch our bad back reaction, and my reaction wasn't all that didn't seem all that excited.
We nailed it. You know what? We were both feeling under the weather, and we brought it through. The reaction was fine, and I love that you just called it the bad back because that's
bad.
The older I get, it's like this week on the bad back.
Brian
Ward. Yeah, call out to Brian Ward. If you're watching this, please make me a Bad Batch logo that says the bad back. I need that shit on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and shout out to D. Bradley for also saying that 9-9 was his favorite clone. And
that's what he told us. He told us that, and he also revealed to us that his favorite new clone was going to be in episode 12, and we've seen that now, and we know that he was talking about Mayday.
Mayday.
So Mayday is D. Bradley Baker's favorite clone as of last weekend. That's what he told us.
And I definitely think kind of like what you were saying during the reaction last week. I think he was probably the favorite clone, not necessarily because of like the difference of his acting style or difference of like voices for using the clones, but what the character Mayday represented for Crosshair and how Mayday's sacrifice was literally the straw that broke the camel's back, to which Crosshair straight up killed his superior officer. Like, bro, you
seriously,
had the pro empire of the Bad Batch.
Well, Mayday's dying acts represented the clones. Like they are bred into a life of service, and that's all they know. And he gave his life to defend his fellow brother and to push Crosshair out of the way of that rock. And then is like discarded summarily as trash, like goddamn Lieutenant Nolan. Like, oh man, I would have snapped. I'm not surprised that Crosshair had that moment, and they gave him such a beautiful moment to redeem himself. And like now that he's like Crosshair's always been someone who made his own choices, and it's made it very hard to have sympathy for his plight sometimes because he created his own situation. Now that he finally has the agency and like the presence of mind of how badly they're being treated, it's all being taken away from him again. And now he's on Tantus, and they're going to like plug him into some gnarly shit and take his willpower away and send him after Omega. And that's like so much more heartbreaking than him just doubling down and joining the Empire for reasons, you know?
Yeah. Also, shout out to
Mayday. Love where they're going with Crosshair. Sorry, what?
I'm pretty sure Mayday was also like the first reg or like the first, clone to like treat Crosshair as a regular clone. Like he never saw him as like, he's just like, oh, you're just regardless,
he's the first person.
Special, like
he's the first person since the Batch left to ask him his fucking name.
Yeah,
no one's even asked him what his name was. Like everyone that he's met has been like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Trooper?" Like
CT.
Cody.
Yeah.
Cody asked him what his name was, and then Cody dipped, and like
Then Cody dipped.
Cody was gone. I don't have anything to ask. I just wanted to say I appreciate everything you two do for this community. Oh, that's so nice. I brought back for my love for Star Wars. Fuck yeah. Mission accomplished. That's all we want is for people to get as excited about Star Wars as we do, man. Now, when a project comes out, I immediately want to watch your reactions as much as the projects. Hell yes.
Excellent.
Every time I get a new trailer, I'm like, crap, better go fire up the camera. We've got work to do. I really enjoy sharing my Star Wars reactions with everybody, and I'm really, really appreciative that you enjoy it as much too. Thank you. That really means a lot. Yeah, R.I.P. Mayday. F's in the chat for Mayday, man.
I was going through some of the other chats here. Thank you all for everyone who's been commenting and been hanging out with us as well. Trying to see here. Cosplay a Mando. That would be very easy. Like there are things that could be done. Bendu's Moon Knight is awesome. Yeah, thanks, man. Like I definitely worked on losing the COVID weight before donning the jumpsuit. It was also a key concept.
Yeah,
like
if you're in a jumpsuit, man, you're not leaving anything to the imagination. Like, so you gotta look good. You gotta look good.
Yeah. That's kind of like what I was trying to say earlier too. I was like, I knew ahead of time. I was like, all right, I gotta try to I can only eat a salad that day because if I eat a burger, the moment I get bloated, it's gonna show. So, yeah. It was
what a time for your raid to arrive as we're talking about getting bloated from eating too much.
But honestly, it was great, man. It was so much fun.
Yep, again, we're being rated. We're being rated.
The celebration had the greatest I think diversity when it came to Mandos and troopers and armors, obviously. But we've said this repeatedly that 3D printing has just completely changed the game of cosplay.
100%. 100%.
So cool.
It's absolutely
make
the door wide open in terms of
things
you can make. Things that before you could only buy this in a store. It's like a replica thing. Any form, any shape can be created now. And it's
now I remember what I was going to say. Going back to the Emerald City video, the R2 unit that we saw with the see-through dome head was the coolest fucking droid ever. Because we were able to see the inner circuits and everything, and that was just so cool.
Hang on, let me find that. I've got that on the screen here.
Because like they gave you the clear top option at like the Disneyland, droid builder thingy, but to see an actual like real droid that someone built, like put the clear head on it, and you were like, I can see your brains. Like I can see your droid.
That droid was actually playing like a MIDI version of the Star Wars theme too.
It was. It had an 8-bit. It had an 8-bit speaker.
Where are you?
Where are you,
droidy boy?
I want that mall statue.
Now he's hiding from us.
Next year, I don't care if it's $200. Actually, I do care if it's $200. Pretty sure that mall was more than $200. But
going back to your point about the jumpsuit, though, when you're wearing a jumpsuit, you really do kind of have to. Like it's no different than preparing for going to the beach,
Yeah, right.
You're leaving nothing to the imagination.
That's true. Yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to have like a loincloth ass covering along with a cape with that one. But yeah,
definitely
good.
That's kind of like the birdcage when Agador Spartacus is cleaning the pool, and he's got like a little dish towel like tucked into the front of his G-string. Apparently Hank Azaria wasn't going to have that originally, and his wife wouldn't let him the scene unless he added the dish towel there to like cover something up just a little bit. That was the compromise.
That movie is
that they reached. God, that movie's.
If you've not seen The Birdcage, R.I.P. Robin Williams. You should do yourself a favor and
Robin Williams, Gene Hackman, Nathan Lane, Callista Flockhart. It's fucking amazing. It's
Ally McBeal. Such a good movie. Fuck Florida. If you live in Florida, I'm sorry your politicians suck. But,
shout out to everyone that lives in Florida and that is a decent fucking person, because there's a lot of those too.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. We see you. We know that you're not in charge of this. We know you're not responsible for everything. Changing gears a little bit here. We got a new 3-minute clip for the Dungeons and Dragons movie that's dropping at the end of this month. And when it does, my personality is going to so abruptly just like do a heel turn and I'm gonna be talking all nerds and dice and wizards. I just know that about that. I know that about my personality. I'm so impressionable about the things that I'm.
Well, okay, so I'll hold my comments until after we watch this clip because no.
Let's do it.
A profound joy it is.
That's the perfect teaser because I have to know what happens next. You know what I mean?
Look at that fucking balloon.
His face on that goddamn balloon.
Look at that fucking face.
Look at this fucking dipshit. I love it. I love it. Strong vibes of Jeff Goldblum's character in Thor.
Exactly.
Like, oh, that's too good. I love it when there's like a benevolent dictator who's a total ham running the show. Like, dude, that's a pretty good. Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It comes out. I'm pretty sure it comes out.
Hold on. It looks like we just got. Looks like I'm gonna